James Harden not really known for somebody that sets up plays. So right here, you see him talking to Joel Embiid. He then points right at the elbow for Joel Embiid. You see Scotty Barnes throw up 5. So in 5 seconds left on the shot clock, do not let Harden get an open shot. So they set the play up. You see Thibault looking back and forth at Harden like, oh, what are we doing? But it's not for him because Tobias Harris really don't be scoring like that, you know. It's mostly a distraction. Put Tobias Harris in the dunker spot so that he can be a weapon on the floor. So again, points for Maxey to get open. Maxey gets open. Distraction. Throws it to Embiid. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. You got to get something going. You got to get something going fast. Hands it right back to Harden. Screen left. But they're bringing a double, which leaves a wide open lane for Joel Embiid in the paint. 3 seconds left, so it has to be a jump shot. On the back end, you got Achua versus Thibault and Harris. He has to make a decision. Do I leave the layup open or the 3? 3 seconds left. You're going to leave the 3 open. It's a lot harder to get that pass through. Anyways, right where James Harden pointed, like he a fortune teller, like he Doctor Strange or something. He got that green stone in his hand, like this is where the ball going. Boys got hella deep for a second, my fault. Anyways, pass it into Joel Embiid. You see Siakam come up. Achua slide down to Thibault. Leave Harris wide open. Me personally, I'm not passing that either. Great play by Joel Embiid. And great call out by Harden. Right where he pointed, he was like, go right there and you're going to be open. Great play. Right here, you hear James Harden say this.
Thus far, despite the Sixers' good start, mission accomplished from a Raptors point of view.
No Anunoby. No Van.
So he most likely says, I'm going to you right there. And so he goes into Maxey. Kind of sets like a screen for him. But it's basically to give himself the ball. And he's looking for Embiid. Gives it to Embiid right at the top of the half circle. Right at the top. And the angle that he throws it to him at, somebody is going to have to gamble if they want to double. If Joel Embiid does not drive. If he does a fadeaway, then Trent is going to come. If he drives, Siakam goes. So Joel Embiid has the freedom to do whatever he wants right here, which usually does not happen because he's such a good scorer. So Embiid gets it from Harden. Harden goes all the way out. If Scotty Barnes helps, he has Harden. So Harden posts up right where somebody cannot help if Scotty Barnes goes to double. Embiid jab, go through. Trent swipes, but he can't help because Niang is in the corner. Good shooter. And Thibault's in the dunker. So Mr. Boucher has to come down, which leaves Maxey open for 3. Embiid's like, I'm not doing none of that. I am the second coming of Julius Erving. Does a goddamn loop-de-loop over both of them and laid it in. But it shows you that James Harden had his best interests in mind. He got him to the spot where nobody could help. Nobody could completely help. They could help, but they could not completely help. He's like, I'm going to you. And he gave it to him. You just got to get the stars open sometimes. Shout out to James Harden, man. So right here, LeVert makes a free throw. You see Harden look down, noticing that he can get back in transition a lot faster. And this is where Harden looks and notices it's him and Thibault versus Okoro and LeVert. Whoever gambles, Harden can find open because they know they're going to double team him because Thibault is not that great on offense. Anyways, Okoro is forcing him right to his help. Thibault is cutting through thinking it's going to be isolation. But he tells him, he's like, go back. So Thibault goes back. Little hezzy move. Harden, savvy vet, puts his arm in between Okoro's arm right there. Gets him off of him. Then another little push off. Allows him to get more momentum going to the rim. Has him beat. And LeVert has to help. Now Mobley can help too. But LeVert has to help because it's Thibault in the corner. Who's not going to help off of that? He helps. Mobley helps. He could have passed it down to Jordan. Didn't want to. Decides, you know what? I'm going to hit Thibault. I'm going to give him a chance. Thibault rewards him. Great play by James Harden. He saw that it was a 2-on-2, and he was like, I like me. I like my odds. And he took his odds. Great play. The play coming up that James Harden calls takes advantage of Joel Embiid's weight, his girth. I don't know, weight, girth. But he says this.
His shine, but that's not what
Stole it. Almost.
Yeah, but that's not how you envision it when you wake up in the morning.
That's what I figured. Just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, it's a good question.
So you heard him say ball hot or ball high, which basically insinuates the play is to Niang to pass it to Embiid in the post. Given the fact that Niang is all the way up here and Joel Embiid is pointing out Markkanen like, hey, like I'm trying to take advantage of Markkanen being 170 soaking wet. So you see Maxey, he's pointing at Niang like that's what a play was. Harden's like, okay. He gives it to him, cuts by, and you see Joel Embiid put his entire, I don't know, all of his body force into Markkanen to get him off. Fronts him in the post, forcing Markkanen to front him in the post. Gives it to Embiid. Easy dunk. That's a great play. Great play called by Harden too. Great pass by Niang. Harden really ain't do much, but he called the play out. That's the point guard's job. And it worked. There's a quick one right here. 76ers taking the ball out. James Harden looks at Maxey. He says, you get the ball. This play is not for James Harden. He's playing like a regular guard would. And then you see Maxey point on James Harden like, hey, come get the ball. Harden's like, nah. Points at Embiid. He said the play is for Embiid. And then he points down for Embiid, telling him to go bottom post. They're running a high post play. So Harden then waits until Tobias Harris is open. Tobias Harris signals that he's open for this play. Harden makes sure that his man is all the way out there so they cannot double Harris. Embiid establishes position immediately as fast as he can so that he avoids the 3 seconds and he avoids a double. Harden spaced out, Maxey spaced out, Niang spaced out. This pass is Tobias Harris directly in to Embiid over the top. But the Magic are always bringing a double. You got Okeke right there in the bottom. And then you got goddamn Cole Anthony looking. Franz Wagner, they all got to focus on the shooters, but Okeke don't care about the Niang. He'd rather not Embiid score. But Embiid gonna score regardless. That boy is a monster now. So again, establish his position, fronts him in the post. Harris with a great inside pass. Harden is all the way out here because Wagner cannot help. The first pass that he could throw it to is Maxey, but the second one is definitely to Harden. So Harden is all the way out by the Amway Center. And he just lets the play go. And one for Joel Embiid. The 76ers thought it was going to be a play for Harden. Harden's like, nah, this play is for Joel Embiid. And he let the play run through. And he stayed there as a spot-up shooter. Most of the time, you don't have to be the guy that gets all the assists. You know, you can just be the guy who starts the plays. Great call by the 76ers and great play by Joel Embiid. Now, here's a clip right here that's not really something James Harden's known for. It's his defense. You hear him say this.
And some brilliant basketball players is having, incredible years.
Right. Reeves off the high ball screen. Melo in the ball game for the Los Angeles Lakers with Zeke J. Augustine.
So Austin Reeves is bringing the ball up the court. And he gets a double screen from Dwight Howard and Carmelo Anthony. So Harden looks at the people in the corner. You got Stanley Johnson, you got Augustine. Thybulle's already in a position to help. And so right here, there's a switch. Tobias Harris goes to Reeves. Maxey goes to Anthony. Embiid goes to Howard, who he was already on. They're trying to set up a play for Carmelo. And it sounds like Harden's saying like front him to Maxey, because right here, Maxey gets right in front and he basically tells Embiid to stay on the back of him. And Harden is basically guarding Stanley Johnson and Dwight Howard. So Tyrese Maxey fronts him. Embiid stays there. Harden's got Howard and Stanley Johnson. I know y'all remember when the Rockets did that dumb little small ball thing, but Harden was the main post defender. So he's extremely confident in his ability to guard the big man. I mean, I wouldn't guard no big man if I was guard, but hey, more power to you. So they basically bring a double for Carmelo, like this is Nuggets Melo. Like, Melo's still nice, but he not finna get you 50 anyways. So Harden has Howard. He's basically making it so that he has passes Stanley Johnson to shoot. Carmelo then points for Stanley Johnson to cut, so that Harden has to make a decision between Stanley Johnson and Howard. He's like, nah, I'm gonna sit just long enough so that Embiid can get back into the play, and he's able to stop Stanley Johnson from getting it to Carmelo. Tobias Harris slides down. Tyrese Maxey still has him fronted. Harden basically puts Stanley Johnson in position to score, even though he's looking to pass. You see, Carmelo tells him to pass it out to Reeves, but then Harris gets right back out there. So then he passes it to him again. It's 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Reeves is looking for Carmelo in the post, and they bring a double with Embiid again. Thibault slides down to Dwight. Harris goes out. Harden almost gets a steal right here. Reads the play before it happens. Thibault rotates over again, and Embiid's able to get back on his man. This is beautiful rotation. And then, I don't know what that was. But, shows you that Harden, his mind is still there on defense. He's not going to shut you down. But I think Harden is above average defender, and he's pretty good at communicating. He basically told Embiid to go double, and he had Maxey front him. So hey, you can't really decipher what he says, but it sounds like he either says Embiid go double or Maxey front him, and he did both. So hey, great play.